welcome to the podcast. My name is Babatunde. I'm your host, and today we have our host, Sniper.
Mr. Sniper here.
And today we're going to dig deep into Drake versus Kendrick. Today we still have two fantastic guests, and I would like my guests to introduce themselves. Bayo.
My name is Bayo Omisore. Let's call myself a field rapper. I started my career as a rapper. When that didn't work, I became a journalist. I think fairly successful one at that. So I've interviewed I think some of the biggest rappers in the world, including Ludacris, Nas, 50 Cent, Jay-Z. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
All right. Aquadragon.
I go by none other than the African Aquadragon. I make hip hop, Afro fusion music. Some call it Afro beats now. Otherwise, different blends. Been doing this for years. You can find me online. I actually have two projects out on your music app. You can check Every Day by Aquadragon. That's a couple of years old. And in this January, I put out a small EP called Stimulus Light. Yeah, you can find me on social media, Twitter at Aquadrag, Instagram, Aquadrag Music, and Facebook, The African Aquadragon.
Okay.
What can I say?
You guys, please go to on the description. We're gonna leave all our guests' social media handle. You guys go check them out. Show some love. Aquadragon does have all his songs on all the streaming platform from Apple Music to Spotify. I think basically all the how do you call it, DSG, all those platforms,
DSPs.
the streaming
The
platforms,
DSPs.
yeah, they are all available. Please show some love. Let's keep streaming. All right, so today we're going to talk about Drake versus Kendrick. This thing has been going out of hand because it started with I think Drake's had a track with I think it's J. Cole, and subliminally he put in some lines, I think, trying to offend, trying to diss Kendrick, and Kendrick now came on to this Metro Boom's track single called Like That, and also like had a whole verse dissing J. Cole and Drake. So what do you guys have to say about this this whole beef? And I think this is very healthy. I like the fact that this beef is going on. Is it brings me back to when there was rap was really good. Rap was really sweet. So Bayo, would you like to give us your, you know?
Okay, I'm excited. I'm very excited. So it it didn't quite start, you know, now. It started a long time ago. It started when um Kendrick released, well, he didn't release, Big Sean released Control, and on Control, Kendrick went at everybody at his level. The people who look like they might be competition. He basically went at all of them. And at the time, it was friendly competition, and he said that much. He said, oh, you know what, he respects these guys and so on and so forth. But when it comes to this number one thing, now my own. So let's not play, and um what it is it's a hip hop thing, right? It's a hip hop thing. I dare say it's a crabs in the bucket mentality that came from the slave trade, from slavery, from the times of slavery, where pretty much only one black person could have a good, like, you had to kind of fight to be the guy inside the house, and then automatically when it's a lot of history, and it's a lot of, this is what I think, it's a lot of personal opinion. But then I studied history, so I'm able to connect the dots. So I think that's where it comes from. Now, in the 70s, when hip hop started, the whole idea was, you know what, instead of us to be on the streets killing each other because we don't agree on stuff, again, crabs in the bucket, why don't we use this art form to battle? You know, if we use this art form to battle, we can at the same time determine who's better, you know, as we're staying alive, and it's healthy competition, you know, and so on and so forth. And that's where it came from. So hip hop has always been very, very competitive, extremely competitive. Like, yeah, so as a matter of fact, KRS says, I don't know if it's still true today, but as at 10, 15 years ago, KRS said that he has a verse for every single rapper in the top 10 at every point. KRS has a verse for every single one of them.
So he
You know,
was
so because
prepared.
do you understand? So it basically is a function of, oh, so you think you are the guy? Well, you know, take this and let's see what you're able to do. Let's see what you know what you can come back with. And that's what Kendrick did. Um, but Drake didn't take lightly to it. Drake didn't like it, you know, because end of the day, I suppose Drake felt like, oh, but you're kind of like my boy. Like I took you on tour, you know, when I was Drake and you were upcoming. I took you on tour. I fed you. So why are you saying these things? Well, again, you know, so depending on who you're speaking, I don't like Drake. I should say that. You know what? Maybe I should have started with that. I don't like Drake.
So you're not a fan of Drake.
I'm not a fan of Drake. I'm not a fan of Drake. You know, so I should say that. So whatever I say will come from that angle. Now, I think
Yes.
I'm right. I think I'm right, but I don't like Drake. So if you think that I'm biased, you know, you are probably right. So, you
Okay.
know, just to lay everything out there.
Okay.
So I've basically said where it starts from. I'll let Jidonu take it from there.
All right, so you can hear me.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. In the end, it's a big manifestation of the ego, misogynistic ego part of hip hop, because there is no set down rules for judging who is better. In the end, how does a statement, a passing statement, including other people in the conversation with myself as being the top, how many, top three or whatever, degenerate into outing personal information that could put people in jeopardy,
Word.
inciting violence that actually spills into someone's personal space. We are taking our work way too seriously. So I find that a lot of the hip hop fans miss the energy that we used to get from the beef tracks. I mean, it wasn't always a thing, but the first time we experienced it, it was such a groundbreaking big deal. And the next couple of times, you know, but I think that horse has been flogged, and the basis for what they are calling a beef that we're all supposed to be involved in the end, to me, is still just uh, marketing
Keep
gimmicks.
measuring.
Yeah, well, in the end, what it boils down to is, if I'm fighting you in the public, they're going to buy our tickets.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So we've had several this is another conversation we're having. We have more than one conversation about marketing in music, in hip hop, and I just see this as a good enough marketing gimmick to try and stimulate some kind of what's the word, controversy around characters. And I think Kendrick is the one who benefits the best because he has project that is coming out or has just come out fresh in the midst of this stuff. Somehow I don't like I don't have a good taste for what how they are going about
The beef.
the beef. The tracks I heard didn't catch me immediately. I have to say that. I felt like the hype was more than the energy I was getting from the music. Having said that, I've listened to Kendrick's tracks a few more times, and I think the sounds and everything have settled down in my head a bit more. It might be that I had more time for the media to program me into trying to take a listen, but I didn't get the hit 'em up feeling that I got when I first hit him up from any of these guys.
Oh, you know
Let me
what?
just say,
I don't. Okay, so I think the only other time that I felt like wow was when I heard Ether. I think that's,
mm,
I mean,
Oh,
look,
you mean
hit 'em up
Nas
is,
Ether?
yeah, Nas, yes. So hit 'em up is on a totally different, stratosphere. You know, I don't think anyone, look, before hit 'em up, there had been diss records, no Vaseline, you know,
No, no Vaseline. Yeah.
um, I can't for some reason those names elude me now, but I
I'm gonna knock
remember
you
where I
out.
was. I remember where I was when I heard Hit 'em Up. That's how, like, because I'm such a Biggie fan, I almost cried because I felt like, this is too much. Like, this is a lot, you know.
They knock on
Um,
well, oh.
you
That
know.
song that hit them
So,
up.
so,
No be toy
so
toy.
when
Oh.
I heard Ether again, I'm a big Jay-Z fan. Like, I love Nas. Like, I love Nas to bits. But when I heard Ether, I felt very bad for Jay-Z, because from the very beginning, the way he said like you know, you
Even from
know,
the tone, you can feel the hatred.
from the tone, you can feel the, like,
Who
you're
are
a
you?
small boy
Small boy.
now,
You?
and then
Yeah.
he went on to say, oh, you copied my style, and so on and so forth. Um, so having referenced those two songs, I think it'll be almost impossible to compare anything to that. But, but to look at what Kendrick, again, don't forget, I'm looking at this from the lenses of someone who doesn't really like Drake, right? And I'll explain why I don't like Drake. I'll explain why I don't like Drake. But what Kendrick did was premeditated. So I think that's what actually um, gives him the upper hand in this back and forth. The fact that he kind of knew what Drake was going to do, so he baited him, then waited for him.
And he had
And
already prepared
And
those things
Drake played
down.
into his hands. Drake played into his hands, and look, in the history of hip hop, these records, this one song, Meet the Grahams. Yeah, I'll put that on a list. I'll put it on a top 10 list because it was so calculated. And, you talk to his son, you talk to his maybe daughter, you talk to his dad, you talk to his mom, then you talk to him. Like, there really honestly is no coming back from that. And here's the funny thing. So 2 years or so ago, or maybe 3 years ago, when the thing with Drake and Push happened, I was telling one of my boys, Effa, Charlie, you know Effa.
Yeah, no, F.I.
Effa is a
Aurora.
big Drake fan. Effa is a huge Drake fan. I was telling him, Effa, after Adonis, is that the name of the song? No, Adonis is his son. Oh, what's the
Man,
song called now? I forgot the name of the song. Anyway, Adidon, after Birth of Adidon or whatever. I told her,
yeah.
it's impossible for Drake to come back from this. And Drake basically moved on and never mentioned it. Well, he did mention it. He started talking about his son. He started taking care of his son. He stopped being a deadbeat father, you
Mhm.
know. this is the same exact thing. Like there is no coming back from it because basically this guy has information that you've either kept away from everyone or maybe even you are not aware of. That's number one. Then number two, the way he played the game, like he didn't play it as if it was a song. He played it as if he was having a conversation. It kind of takes it notches higher than even what Tupac did with Biggie. Even though I mean, again, you had never heard that kind of thing before where someone starts off by saying he smashed your wife, not in those words. You'd never heard it like that,
Yes.
But then again, there's Kendrick saying, you know what, you are better off dead, which is where I draw the line, apparently. I mean, I draw the line there, but still, it's shock value. It's the shock value of, oh my goodness, wow, did he just say that? You know, so yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, so let me dial back to Drake. So the reason why I don't like Drake is if you as a rapper are more geared towards making pop records, then make your pop records. Sing for the girls, talk about your feelings, be that guy. But don't be that guy today and then tomorrow try to be a gangster. We know you are not a gangster. We know you grew up in Canada. We know you were on a TV series as a child. You're a child star. We know that, you were raised well. I mean,
You had
everybody,
a
the truth is,
good upcoming.
you had a good upbringing. The truth is, everyone, even the gangsters, want what you had. So don't try to be a gangster because you are not. I read an interview that Lil Wayne gave. He said when he was signing Drake to his label, like he basically told him, you know what, talk about Toronto, talk about where you came from. Don't try to rap like me because where I come from is a totally different place. Rap about where you came from.
Yeah, I
So that
saw
you are
that.
real to who you are. Yeah, so you are real to who you are. But I mean, Drake became a pop star, and all of a sudden he's from Atlanta, all of a sudden he's from London, all of a sudden he's from Jamaica, and look, I grew up listening to 90s hip hop. That's where I come from. For me, the pinnacle is 93, 94. So if I've come from that, it'll be impossible for me to see eye to eye with a Drake, no matter how skillful he is. And he is skillful. He is very skillful, but it's best to stay in your lane. So LL Cool J. The reason why I can take LL Cool J battling MCs is because I know that he battles MCs. He does do that. So we've seen that with Cool Modi, we've seen it with Kanai Boss, so we've seen him do that. He does do that. He just prefers to stay in his lover boy lane. And that's so nobody. So if Kanai Boss feels like he'll jump on an LL Cool J song and talk about snatching the crown off his arm, then LL Cool J has every right to go at him. And nobody is going to say, oh, what's going on? Nobody's, because it's LL Cool J. We know that you do this. We don't know that Drake does this. We know where Drake comes from. We've been known, like they say, we've been known. So, so so
Don't come and pretend that
don't try to be this other guy.
Mm.
Do you understand? That's the reason why I don't like him. It's really as simple as that. That's the reason why I don't like him. So when he does his pop, it's not my style or it's not my preferred style.
But you have no
of
problem
music.
with it.
I have no problem with it.
Okay.
But once he decided to go, so when he went at McMill, I didn't really care because it doesn't really matter to me. I wasn't a big McMill fan, and as these things go, he dragged McMill and destroyed him. Like he finished him. And I guess they started gassing him up. He had a push. He now went at Pusha T. Are you serious? Do you know who Pusha T is? You can't do that now. You can't. You literally can't do that now. And when Pusha T gave him, I'm like, yeah, see, like you listen, listen. There are some people you don't mess about with. Just leave him. Let him do his cocaine bars. Leave him alone. Don't try. I think he was deceived by the fact that Push always talks about he has one subject matter, and that's where he sits. So I think Drake was deceived. Now, having done that and lost, and a lot of people will also say he lost to Joe Budden. He should have respected himself and just stayed in his lane. But you know how these things go.
Maybe the
Yeah,
ego becomes too big and he thinks that he can do anything, do and undo.
yeah,
But
yeah,
unfortunately,
yeah,
that's not the case. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Aqua, do you agree or disagree?
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it. Yeah. It's really easy to get gassed up by your crew into doing stuff that you wouldn't necessarily do if you were, in smarter mind. But I think that's an easy trap for those who get commercial success. We start to feel like we're above and more than what we truly are. So I think I see that. I'm disappointed that maybe the writing crew that has changed. Maybe it was the approach.
Right.
Yeah. That I didn't see different. Uh, I didn't see a different sort of artistry from Drake. I think Kendrick stayed in his own lane. He did a lot of typical Kendrick things, you know. But yeah, I never really thought about it. Maybe that's why I'm not feeling what's going on as much. But yeah, and this also happened in the case where 50 was battling Ja Rule. Ja Rule changed. He changed trying to respond. I think Drake is trying to respond from an angle he didn't necessarily have to. Um, and all that mastery of words and situational rapping. Drake always talks about himself and his relationship to somebody else. So there was a lot of space for him to play those games. From the original Drake that
Well,
became
but you know
commercially
what?
successful.
Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that Drake was bad, because if you listen to what's the name of the song now? Oh my goodness. Give me 1 second. I will find it now. Um, so there was that one song he put out just before Meet the Grahams. I will find it. Sorry, just give me 1 second. So he put out Family Matters. Family Matters was hard. Family Matters was very, very, very hard. It was very hard. Like he did a fantastic job. The unfortunate the unfortunate bit of the situation for him is 20 minutes after he put out Family Matters, Meet the Grahams dropped. 20 minutes. So essentially, when your record is trying to pick up and the record that's going to douse it, drops, that's the end. So I don't think that he did well. Like a lot of people will say, "Oh, you brought back the bars Drake." Like he came back, he dropped some very barsy tunes. Like he
Yeah.
he really rapped. But the thing is, Kendrick was ready for him. Kendrick was ready. Like Kendrick pretty much out chest him. Like he outsmarted him and delivered the death blow at the point where Drake would have thought, "Yes, this is it. You are done. Now I can move on." But 20 minutes later, Meet the Grahams dropped. Then right after that,
Rick Ross.
Not Like Us. No, Not Like Us dropped.
Not gonna lie, sir.
So he dropped the record where he sat Drake's entire family down and talked to them about their child, and then talked to Drake. and then dropped Not Like Us, where he's basically dancing on the grave of Drake. And what he did on Not Like Us is fantastic. Like, this is a general, this is Napoleon at war. What he did was he took an Oakland beat. He recorded his rap over an Oakland, so that's is a regional beat, saying this is where I'm from. Where are you from? Because I mean, you are not Jamaican. You are not you're not from Atlanta. You're not British. So who are you? Tell us who you are. And that's where he told him he's appropriating the culture. He's a colonizer. And he's able to show that, well, I'm from Oakland, and this is what we do in Oakland. This is our music. Finished him. Like, again, there's no coming back. You can't come back from that. It's impossible. It's impossible.
So do you believe that, like Aquadragon previously mentioned, like this is more or less like a marketing strategy and stuff? But do you think so? This, what you are saying, is this beef is not real. Do you? Because there's some things that I hear from Not Like Us, even like that, or any of those tracks, like Not Like Us. We were talking about Drake being a pedophile. I think that was a big blow. Like, it is not only affecting. This is serious. If you accuse somebody of pedophile, and the state doesn't take this thing easily, so people start looking into this, like, oh, like, if whether he is or he's not, somebody calls you a pedophile, it's not something you should take lightly of. And I feel like it's hurting not only his music, even he just signed a contract with I think Universal, that Universal paid him 200 million. And I think I heard like the executives of Universal was now cautioning Kendrick that Kendrick should take this thing back, because there is they are depending him for him to make back that 200 million. And this money is being prepaid. It's not as if this money is while you're working for us, I'm going to pay you this money. No, they have paid him this 200 million. And the way they are going to make their money back is for Drake to perform, to give them, I don't know how many albums in a year, or one album in a year, whatever. But I feel, is this thing getting too much? Is it healthy, or is there any? But so far so good. Oh, Kendrick has been bringing some stuff, saying some stuff, but he's producing receipts for it. But I don't know about that fact. So I don't know.
I mean, you've asked a few questions within this one statement. So first of all, let me say that in terms of it being too much, I can see it being too much. I was alive when Biggie and Tupac died. And I know what the magazines, the Source and co. I know what contribution they made, King of New York and so on and so forth. Just egging everything on and making money while doing that, and making a lot of sales, and it was really all about the numbers. I think after that, a lot of people have basically said to themselves in their private spaces and in public spaces where these types of conversations go on, that should never happen again. But I guess the challenge is nobody foresaw that happening. So with this Drake and Kendrick thing, we all say to ourselves, oh, they're making too much money on the one hand, and they are smart enough to know that, we're supposed to keep this on record, right? So because we are saying that, we are saying to ourselves that, well, they are grown-ups, they are smart, it's not going to go beyond what they are saying. But God forbid, we don't know what will actually happen until it happens. You understand what I'm saying? So like I mentioned earlier, I kind of cringed at the idea of Drake saying that, no, not Drake, Kendrick saying that Drake is better off dying. Like he said it like 2 or 3 times on record. Like I kind of cringed. But the dark side, of me is saying, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now what do you
Ooh.
have? Drake, what you got? What you got? You understand what I'm saying? I apparently don't want Drake to die, nor do I want, Kendrick to die. Um, but I guess it's a question of, on the one hand, where do you draw the line? On the other hand, because of where we come from, we just like the idea of, oh, again, shock value. Oh, wow, he said that. Oh, wow. Okay. So what's this other person going to say? Or what's this other person going to do? Now, as far as whether they are doing it for commercial purposes, I doubt it. Maybe not directly. Okay, so maybe I should say, maybe not directly. Um, Even though being number one has its what's the word now? It's financial benefits. Like if you are perceived as on top of your class within a certain space, maybe not in pop. Nobody cares in pop. I think someone mentioned that earlier. It's not, that's not, pop is not, well, pop is a case of how many records you sell. In hip hop, it's a case of who are you, what kind of reputation do you have? If you are a monster, you are number one. So when 50 Cent was the guy, that's the reason why he went at Jay-Z, he went at Rick Ross, anyone he perceived, he went at Ja Rule, anyone, even though he says he doesn't even like Ja Rule at all. But then Ja Rule was the main guy when 50 Cent came out. So he went at him. And 50 Cent's thing is, if you look at boxing, the boxing space, there can't be two undisputed heavyweights. There's only
Yes.
one. So as long as I'm active, I have to be the guy, and that's hip hop for you, So while it might not directly be connected to, oh, if I destroy Drake, then I take his place and his earnings, it definitely won't happen because the kind of music Drake makes is totally different from the kind of music Kendrick makes. But just the mere fact that he's in that conversation, and I'm sure there are loads of people who didn't know Kendrick before this. So now all of a sudden you have a new set of eyeballs. I mean, look at what they've done with Not Like Us. They've made it into a salsa, much more call it. It's gone K-pop. It's gone all over the, like. There's hardly any type of music that they haven't made with Not Like Us. Like it's done so well. So his numbers today are ridiculous. I don't think he's ever done this type of numbers. I don't think that's what he was trying to do when he, decided to do this. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that's what he was looking for. Because don't forget, if he goes back to record an album, he's not going to record a pop project.
Mm.
He's not. He's going to record the same type of records that Kendrick records typically. So I don't think he specifically came out to do this because, oh, I'm going to make numbers. So if you think about it, when J. Cole recorded 7 minutes, what's it called now? 7 minutes, I can't remember. The diss track, the one he pulled off. He pulled it knowing the damage it would do, but he pulled it anyway. So that will tell you that, okay, for these people, for Kendrick, for J. Cole, this isn't necessarily about the pecuniary benefits. It's about, it's basically about hip hop. Like, I want to be the guy, I want to be number one or top three or big three or big
So
three,
fuck the
you
big
know.
three. It's just big
And
me.
for Kendrick, it's about big me. Do you understand? So that's where I see it anyway.
Okay. Okay. So on your own perspective, I think it's very clear that on your own end, though, you feel that Kendrick has won. That's for sure.
There's no feeling. I
But
don't feel that Kendrick has won.
I'm telling
Kendrick
you,
has won.
there will be people out there that will tell you that Kendrick didn't do jack. There's
Yeah,
definitely there will be
well,
people out there.
what I do is I don't just say stuff because that's how I feel. I say stuff because I have proof. So you can back it up. If you think about it, so after all of this, I think last week, within the last 10 days, Drake jumped on a was Red, some Lil Red, one of those girls I don't listen to. He jumped on her record, Sexy Red, I think her name is. He jumped on her record, and when he was rapping, they added a snippet of BBL Drizzy, which was a free beat that Metro Boomin put on social media. So he jumped on the record. They did a little BBL Drizzy, and he said how he pays for people's BBLs, trying to take back his power. But that's the only thing he has done since Meet the Grahams dropped, since Not Like Us dropped. End of the day, the song of the summer in America is going to be Not Like Us.
Yeah.
That's going to be the song of the summer.
It's already
So it's
is.
not
It's already
possible.
is.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
It's
So it's
already is. When
impossible.
I just came back from Miami, they're playing. I went
There
to
you go.
Miami Heats. Even in the game, they are playing Not Like
Yes.
Us. Not Like
Yes.
Us. It's everywhere.
Yes.
It's everywhere.
Exactly.
They play it in the club.
Exactly.
Even
There you
they
go.
bump to it.
So
You get what
it's
I'm saying?
impossible to say that Drake won if you can see the results out. The results are out there. The results
Sniper,
are
do you
out
have
there.
any questions?
I just hope they don't kill themselves because regardless of whether it is fake or it is real or it is for commercial sake, sometimes we should know where we shouldn't go too far, basically. So who is the better rapper? Really, me, I between Drake and Kendrick, I like Kendrick more than Drake. It's not because of his skin tone. I think Drake is, for me, bubblegum rapper, but Kendrick is more, real rapper kind of thing. So, but maybe they don't just kill themselves. Sha.
Okay.
But that's
Any comment from our Aquadragon?
Yeah, I mean, what more can be said? Right now, Not Like Us has broken records, knocked Drake off his perch for highest selling.
Yes.
Is the song that is, percolating into every space where you are talking about the games, the club. Those are very, very different arenas. I mean, they're playing Not Like Us in family environments. Think about it.
Yes.
So that usually would be indicator. My question is it over yet? Is it over? Is it done?
Yeah, I think it is.
You think
I
is
think
it
it is.
over?
I think it is.
What
I
about
think it is.
what about
What's stupid is,
go ahead.
Sorry?
what's stupid is it's such a fresh beef for us to be talking about is it done? And will they continue comparing themselves now for the rest of their career? Because we started with who's bigger?
Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas.
Who's bigger? I'm not in the argument with you. I'm bigger than you. So a soft victory for Drake would be to do something that would sell better than Not Like Us somehow. That's a soft victory.
Well, as
But
far as that goes, so as far as that goes, I think Drake has that in his back pocket. Like he can basically pull something out, and because again, he's a pop artist. He just happens to rap. So yeah, so at the
But
end
do you
of the
think
day,
him bringing
he
out
can-
of his pocket will make any difference?
well,
so long
I
as your
mean,
career continues, in the end, it doesn't matter.
yeah. Plus, you mentioned that he signed a deal. So you know what? So there's a conversation that I had with someone. I don't know how true it is. It kind of makes sense, but I don't know how true it is. And I think this is one of the things that Kendrick was alluding to. So the fact that Drake is Jewish.
Okay.
Oh, here we go again. Okay.
I mean, I don't think I need to say anymore.
Yeah,
So they call you
You understand what I'm saying?
anti-Semitic. Have you heard they call that?
Well, so, it's not even a question of anti-Semitism. It's just Jews take care of themselves. You understand what I'm saying? They sit in a place of power. Yeah, they sit in a place of power and they take care of themselves. So,
Okay.
Okay.
So when that was mentioned, I actually thought about it and I said, you know what, this kind of makes sense. Because
an argument.
apart from the fact that, okay, so dude is nice, and he has these 20 writers, and they can write, they can write a nice tune and so on and so forth. Again, there's a machine. As long as there's a machine behind you, come on now.
If you guys ask me, Sha, I think in this beef, based on because I don't crucify Drake already. So let's even say based on us, let's say it's left to us to know whether his career will die or increase. I think what Drake should just do to make his career rise again from this TAL death squad is for him to just do the big guy. You understand? Kendrick Lamar, oh you bad gone, you finish me. But I don't chop my own time, you start chopping. I think it will help younger people too. That's my
that would never happen.
But
that would never happen.
Okay, go.
Cole already did that.
That's what I was trying to say. We the big three. Who is the big three? Who is the big three? Who is the big three? J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick. J. Cole already came on his own concerts. I said,
I know what to do again.
Exactly. He already offered a peace treaty. He's already apologizing that he didn't do his best. So that was already come out from. I don't think that thing went well. It didn't go well. I don't know, maybe your own comments, but what I heard.
When you say it didn't go well, what do you mean?
The reaction of people, like people that
reaction was bad. By now, we all see what's happening to Drake. We're like, yo, J. Cole, man, you're battle.
you guess
yeah, but you know what it is. So you know what it is. Because it's hip hop, and hip hop is how is it?
Testosterone.
Yes, hip hop is testosterone. It's very masculine, and apologizing is not a masculine thing.
Yes,
guys don't apologize.
Seemingly.
You understand what I'm saying? So when J. Cole said what he said,
there was a lot of backlashes now.
Yeah, this is not hip hop now. Like, but how can you? In fact, there's a friend of mine on Twitter who, like, she went at J. Cole. Like, so, like, from now, don't talk about any guns or any, like, don't.
Because he apologized.
Yes, now.
Yes, now. Because so at the first sight of Wahala,
you have to think for the fans. The fans of J. Cole have been expecting that. So J. Cole is in this picture. J. Cole is coming out with something hard. Before you know it, apology has been dished out. So you could see the backlashes. Like, you even on the comment section, you'll be seeing people saying, J. Cole, you forced my hand, oh. Like, what's going on? Why would you even say sorry? And you are the big three. You are one of those top guys. What's going on? So it just remains Drake and Kendrick. That's why now.
For me, J. Cole just shows saying be big guy. I don't care what the fans say. For me, actually, it's my own number one shot.
Okay.
Oh, J. Cole is your number one.
Yes.
Okay. But I'm just saying, like, for the fans out there, I feel J. Cole kind of disappointed the fans. So I don't know what's up with him. I feel he's a very good rapper. And definitely not my top 5, but he's a very good rapper. So
who's your top 5?
Cool stuff,
leave that for another episode.
No, I'm saying
leave and make it talk, Joe.
The problem with hip hop is that the fans believe that the artist is their avatar.
Okay.
And so when you are now a super fan to somebody, you believe that like a video game. When this thing happens, I for like make now here this guy go.
Give him
that superhero that I mean Batman go beat Superman. Okay, Superman don't come out now. Don't break our bad signal. Batman supposed to come plug out.
Yeah, but Batman can't tell and say sorry.
Now me go look for trouble.
Unfortunately, part of the problem with hip hop is that we write a lot of checks. We write a lot of checks in our music. And all of them have done it. All of them have done it. All of them have said, don't step to me, I'll tear you open. It might be from the golden, trying to get streetwear, though. That's the whole point about always trying to be level-headed and do stuff that is a lifestyle and maintain it. So, when beef come and you react mature, no. That's not you that I know. That's not the idea of you, the avatar that you created in my mind. I need you to be a gladiator now and smash the other gladiators in the arena.
See what
And we
happened
have
to
no
Biggie
problem.
and, and Tupac.
And we have no problem if somebody career go down from there. Now
You
them
see?
go see the effect.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know if I'm making sense. So many times it's actually smarter just to ignore. There are people that have been called out many times and don't honor the threat. Okay? So I think what
wait,
Drake
sorry. You call me out. I'm a rapper. We're both gangster rappers, and you call me out, and I ignore. I'm not I know for your hand, but I first talk one thing, then I can't say, you know what, this thing is getting out of hand. I don't like how this thing, and I apologize.
that's
Let me
exactly
start
what I
first.
was about that he should have had that enlightenment prior to releasing the song. But remember what I also said about who's gassing you up. And J. Cole is supposed to be somebody who is working on himself. He's doing a lot to prove that he's trying to be a higher man. So maybe he had enough time to reflect. That is also the it's exemplary enough. That's all I wanted to
It's what
say.
I'm
That
trying to
even if
get. Yes, you just said it.
yeah, just declared it before the response to it would have wiped him out. Declared it immediately. Sharp.
Get
And
no
in
waste
the
time.
end, I think his career has actually like he's not in our focus now while the two are fighting.
Yes,
Somehow.
better.
It's supposed to be three of them.
Yes, it
So
was supposed to be three of them.
he stepped out of the Royal Rumble somehow. And that has to be said as smart. Now,
Yeah,
Smart.
when you
but
go
you
from
know
there,
what it is? You know what it is? It's easy to say that was smart now. You know what they say about hindsight being 2020. You know,
2020, right?
yeah, we can say that now because Kendrick absolutely smashed Drake. That's the only reason why we can say that. If somehow Drake had defeated Kendrick,
Yeah.
would still be dragging
Drake takes the two
J.
of them
Cole.
out.
Yeah, we'll still be dragging
Drake
J.
takes
Cole
the two
now.
of them out.
Okay.
Sorry?
If Drake beat Kendrick, Drake takes pushing the two of them to the side. Since you don't want fight,
I mean, so it's kind of, I mean, say between Drake and J. Cole, there's some sort of tag team, and I think that's what J. Cole was trying to.
Jacob
I
did
think
it.
that's what J. Cole was trying to do actually when he apologized to say, "Oh, you know what? Oh, we are cool now. Like I love you. Like I really, really love you. But if you feel the need, just hit me here. Hit me here. You know."
Oh my god.
Well, yeah,
um,
well, I think we said a lot today, and I think everybody, I personally feel Kendrick has won the show. I think Bayo also accepts that. I think everybody here is in unanimous agreement that Kendrick has won the battle. I don't know what magic trick that Drake can bring out of his bag or something to enable this thing to to
Go in his favor.
to go in his favor anymore. But it's nice having you guys in the show.
Yeah.
And you don't know, you seem like you want to say something. Please say something.
we were talking about core fans earlier.
Yeah, everybody has their
Okay.
core fan, right?
So if you try and profile the rappers, yeah,
Mm.
Drake had lost from the beginning, and Kendrick knew that because let's say for choice sake, Drake has a lot of non-rap fans.
Mm.
Yeah.
Let's say at best it's 50-50, ladies and gents. At best, it's 50-50, ladies and gents. The sort of thing he does that excite crowds are less rappy than Kendrick. If we had to sit a panel, we wouldn't necessarily have so much representation of Drake fans in the panel.
Mm.
Am I making sense?
Yes.
Am I making sense? So
you'll
understanding
be
that from the
surprised though.
beginning.
You would actually be surprised. You'll be very, very
Hey,
surprised.
I'm somebody that I used to live and breathe Drake at one point in time. Like I said, there was a Drake that would sing to the ladies and then murder every rapper that is around. But he's drifted away from there for a while. He's drifted away from there for a while. We don't remember
Because he's
him
been
that way anymore.
sampling small Afrobeat here, small dancehall here.
That they called him.
There you go.
That's
So
why
you
they
see,
call
pop
him.
is
His
the
matter.
problem.
Yeah, they
Pop
call
is
him
the
the
problem.
He
culture
started out
vulture.
with pop element, but now he has become pop.
Fully pop. There you go.
And that's what happened when the machine has to make his money back. You
Of
know,
course.
you get taken to places. I'm actually quite impressed. They stayed somewhere around the core of the hip hop, but still, if you put any representation of Drake beside any representation of Kendrick, you kind of end up with core hip hop fans picking Kendrick.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And so if we were having an argument about the hip hopness of it, I think Kendrick knew you already win from the beginning. I don't know about J. Cole. J. Cole has had a bit nowadays, J. Cole went to the core of rap. For himself, like, had this whole marketing stuff that he had to step away from and redefine himself.
What about this issue of a lot of people is saying that Drake has ghostwriters, and if you're a real rapper, you should be writing your own lines, you should be writing your own raps. So, but when they
remember me saying that maybe the availability of the writing crew was not right at the time. They changed the call
You said that.
of the writer.
You said that.
Because if you got 20 people writing for you versus a Kendrick, every song a Kendrick puts out, you should have something ready to respond. Yeah, so there's something wrong with the core, because I mean, if it doesn't matter. In the end, it's the song and everything else that we're going to judge the two by. Can he pull it off? Maybe it takes longer for him to learn the lines, and he hasn't learned the lines or what they wrote.
No. So here's the thing. I think when it comes to battle rap, it's different from pop music. It's extremely different. The bottom line is, and I think Charlie was talking about this earlier, about what's true and what's not. I believe in my heart of hearts that Kendrick actually got Drake the same way that what's his face now? Pusha T got him. Once you have information that is correct, like you can't dribble away from. So after that, Drake puts out a song talking about how he's not a pedophile and how he doesn't have a child, and it seems like you are trying to defend yourself. Once you're on the defensive, do you understand what I'm saying? Once you're on the defensive, there's something going on. Having said that, I was on social media a bit too much after that battle, and I saw all the receipts out there. There's a picture of a girl who's about 11 now, who looks exactly like Drake. Her mother was tweeting after all of this happened. If you see the picture of the girl, she looks exactly. The girl looks like Adonis's older sister. So once you have things like that, it's difficult. Like you can't 20 people can't write you out of that. It's impossible. It's impossible. You understand? It's just impossible. I mean, look what happened with Push. So in everything Push said, the one that was the heaviest was the fact that, you have a son that you're hiding. So once they've outed you, what are you going to do? He now brought out his son and started, taking care of him. But there's no rap that you can write that can absolve you of, you're a dead father.
Evidence
what are you going to do? Do you understand what I'm
day.
saying? Do you understand?
They don't bring receipts, show you, say, see.
Yeah.
I swear. No need for
That's the
explanation.
problem. Yes. That's the reason why for me, there's nothing. So yeah, you can go back and say that, oh, Kendrick, you are beating your wife, and all of that. He can do that. But he said it already, so he can't say it again.
Again.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, so unless he has something new to
New.
tell us,
Make him
there's
beg.
like
Make him just beg. Make him beg. Make
so
it do
so
like
the
African
problem
man.
is you've been a deadbeat father once, you've been caught once, right? Do you want to risk your career on coming out and saying no? Then they now go and do DNA test. We now find out that an 11-year-old girl is your child that you haven't been taking care of. He won't do it now. So it's best for him to just, you know what? Let me just leave this guy. This guy is not good for my health. Yeah, simple
I
as.
said, leave them.
It's not good for health too. It's not good
Simple
for health
as.
at all. All right.
Simple as. Yeah.
I think we also is getting to time, and then also happy for you guys to join me in this episode, and we all agree, Kendrick, all hail to
King.
Kendrick. Yeah,
King.
Kendrick for us. So for us now, I think
Yeah.
very clear. Kendrick has taken the throne for now. I don't know who else could push him over, but for this battle, I think uh, Kendrick has won, and I personally I love this kind of back and forth. Actually, I like it's the hip hop I know. It's the rap I know. That is not all those sugar coating stuff, and people are all this sneak this thing. They just diss you direct, give you a diss record. I'm actually dissing you. I'm not shying away from it, and let's see who's better. But I feel like sometimes we need to draw that line in between and say, enough is enough. Let's not go and hurt, another fellow rapper and actually want to hurt him to the extent whereby his career is over or he gets into legal issues and stuff like that. I that's my own personal intake of that, right? So I don't know what you guys think about it. Do you guys love this back and forth rapping, battling stuff, or you just like to keep it? Release your record. Let me just listen to record. I don't want to have rap battles or stuff like that. I don't know.
Sorry, then sing R&B. Go and sing R&B. Nobody disses themselves in R&B now.
I
Nobody,
mean,
But you're
I
right
mean,
too. No. This guy is the
I
is
wanna,
the
I will
from himself.
beat you.
No. Bayo's right, man. Because I was gonna say that, like, if you don't anyway, but make them not just kill themselves.
yeah, I mean, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that I would like to say I don't think it will happen, but you don't. Nobody knows.
You don't
But
call
yeah,
person pedophile.
as as far as hip hop goes, you have to.
Have
This is
that.
the fire,
Yeah.
and it's what they call testing your metal. You have to pass through the fire. Once or twice, especially if you want to be at that level. Otherwise, you can be. I don't think anybody ever put Nelly on their top 10 or top 20.
No.
So or what's his name, or Flow Rider. So you can be Nelly or Flow Rider or Will I Am, and you're harmless. Nobody
Yeah.
bothers you. A
Chopping
matter of
your money
fact,
repeatedly.
you can be Busta Rhymes. You can be Busta Rhymes self. Busta Rhymes always said, so when that thing with Ja Rule happened, he said, Jeffrey, why you do like this now? You know me, I just want to do my music and make money and make everybody happy. But it doesn't mean that if you come at me, that I won't.
Pastor
Well,
go beat person wey go do some. I'm not going to
but
reply.
at the end of the day, a Busta Rhymes is not trying to be top 10 or top. Like, he can actually really rap, but he's not trying to be top 10 or top anything. He's just trying to pull his family out of poverty.
I swear.
And
Yeah.
he's trying to just be that guy. So that's hip hop. As long as you are a rapper and you want to be at the top, you want to wear the crown. Heavy is the head, is what they say, right? Heavy is the head. So you're a TI. You call yourself king of the South. Everybody in the South is going to come at you.
Mm.
You're a biggie. They say you are the king of New York. That's right. That's why Tupac said, "Oh, so you're king of New York, and they came to shoot me in New York." You know about it.
I swear.
That's hip hop. That's hip hop. It's as simple as that.
Aqua.
Yeah. You understand
Sorry,
what I'm
I
saying?
was just thinking about my Tupac conspiracy theory, and all the linking of coffee to gangsterism now. It, anyway, that's for another
That's
podcast.
for another. No, we were going to talk about that. So we're going to talk about that. Not today, Sha, but definitely these are some topics we definitely want to talk about.
Sure, it was them. It was so sure. It was so sure. Tupac kept saying, "I'm sure it's you guys. There's no coincidence. I get shot on the way to your studio downstairs. Blah blah blah." And that's another thing, sir. But yeah, made me rethink the whole matter.
But I feel like
Yeah.
maybe the battle can be like more or less like when you're fighting a boxing match, and before the fight, everybody just you know how that banter between two fighters, they will swear at each other, they will cuss at each other. But once the
during the
fight
But after
is
the
over,
bout,
they hug it
that's
out.
it.
They hug it out. They
Mm.
hug it out. I think
Mm.
that's
Because
it.
there's rules. Because he has rules. You tell me say street niggas get rules. From dissing yourself, you will say this guy yab me too much. Make I
Yes,
wait
now.
for him.
They are
No.
even this rap battle stuff. Sometimes it also gets out of hand while you're doing rap battle. The thing just don't. He goes to talk something with paying the guy
Yes,
well,
you pay
well.
you.
Now blow the guy will give you, and it has happened. Not everybody can keep it so professional. Like
Yeah.
it's only word of mouth. We are using lyrical battle. No, sometimes you will say something that that thing don't enter the person. The guy as the guy they listen, the guy hand they turn into teeth. I'm like this, so the guy just turn into teeth. They hold on, they hold on, they hold on. He just trigger that point. Boom. No, it's so many. I can't remember some of the rap battles. Like I've seen quite some rap battles that it went out of hand. The other guy couldn't
Take
take it
it.
anymore, and it became violence. It became violence.
Yeah.
Emotional damage.
Emotional,
Emotional.
damn. I'm telling you. So I feel like
Yeah.
as for the fans, of course, we love all those kind of things. But I think the rappers out there doing this diss track, I think there should be a certain limits whereby, okay, we know who won. Let's just hug it out,
That's
and
right.
another day continues, just like the boxing matches. There's no even okay, like what do you call it? Floyd Mayweather and McGregory, they go and fight. They shout, they say, "You're stupid, I'll beat you, I'll beat you, I'll do this, I'll do that." At the end of the day, when the fight finish, it's over, it's over. You understand? When they do interview, they say he's a good fighter. And that's it.
You know
What
what?
else?
You know what? So I hear you, and it kind of it makes sense, even though it doesn't make sense. So I'll explain why it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because you've never heard of anyone called a professional rapper. You've
Mm.
never heard of a W anything of rap.
Oh, there's no
There's no
amateur rapper, there's
WBC.
no professional
There's
rapper. Rapper
nothing.
is rapper.
Do you understand
Where's the
what I'm
bells?
Because
saying?
Where's the bells?
yes.
There's no bells.
So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
so as far as that goes, there really are no rules.
There's no
There
rules, you're
really
right.
are no rules.
No
There's
rules.
no body guide. You don't join a body to become the
Regulate.
best rapper within that
Yeah.
category. There are no featherweights, no lightweights, no nothing.
No holds
Everybody
barred.
is a rapper. Now, of course, amongst the rappers, you know who your level is. So
Yes.
again, a flow rider will not diss a Jay-Z. A
Yes.
Jay-Z will like flow rider because, well, he's doing his thing, but
Yes.
that's not the person he's like. That's not his level.
Category.
And flow rider is
It's harmless. It's
probably
harmless to me.
probably selling more records than Jay-Z, but regardless, they are not on the same level. And they are both rappers. So that's the way it's always going to be. As long as this guy is going to take my spot, that's the guy that I have to keep an eye on. In fact, what am I talking about? Jay-Z said it on J. Cole's first album that, oh, this guy, I'll sign him because he wants to take my spot. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Or why would Jay-Z sign a Nas? Because, yeah, you know what? Oh, so he might say, oh, you know what? I respect Nas. I love Nas, big ups, whatever, whatever. But he's basically signed him as, well, that's my guy. That's the guy that's supposed to be the guy over me, the king or whatever. But I signed him. He's
What?
my member of
So
staff.
That's Jay-Z
So
yeah.
that you're talking about, right?
you can't,
Jay-Z
like,
that-
he doesn't need to say anything. He doesn't need to talk about it ever again.
that's been
In the
declared
Yeah.
annals
now.
of history, even though they had that battle and so on and so forth, Jay-Z signed Nas. Period.
Exactly. Be
Period.
the bigger dog, man, before
Period.
things get out of hand.
So unless Drake can give Kendrick a deal.
Exactly.
You can give Kendrick a deal, but otherwise, yeah, this is hip hop, and this is what it's going to be.
Yeah, maybe it's my wishful thinking because I don't want anybody to get hurt.
It is.
And
yeah, fingers crossed, nothing happens.
Yeah,
I just want nothing happens.
Yeah. All right. So I think thank you for you guys joining the show. Thank you, Bayo. Thank you, Aquadragon, Sniper, everybody. To the fans out there, to the followers out there, audience out there. If you have any comment, just leave it in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Do you agree with Bayo? Do you agree with me? Do you agree with Aquadragon? If you don't, say your mind. We can always debate about it, and we can make another episode about it. And let's talk about it. Let's trash it out. This is a program where there's no bar held, so that we can just trash out whatever we are thinking about. So remember to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell, and we shall see you next time.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Baby.